The third type of tissue we're going to discuss is nervous tissue, and the locations of nervous tissue include places like the brain, spinal cord, nerves, and sensory receptors, which include things like the receptors in your eyes that detect light and the receptors in your ears that detect hearing. It includes things like your taste buds on your tongue, which detect the taste of different molecules in your food, and things like your smell, your sense of smell, and also things like touch, vibration, pressure, pain, etc., etc. So this picture here is a picture of nervous tissue. And you'll notice that kind of the main kind of star of nervous tissue is a type of cell called a neuron. And so a neuron is the kind of the main cell that's involved in actually communication between different structures. And so this cell right here is a neuron. And neurons have this kind of characteristic shape to them. And I typically kind of draw it almost kind of like this as a cartoony type drawing of it. And so what you're seeing here is that this kind of big area right here is the cell body of the cell. This dark spot right here is the nucleus. And in the cell body is where you would also find the majority of the other organelles, which includes, the endoplasmic reticulum, the mitochondria, the ribosomes, et cetera, et cetera. And then coming off of the cell body, there are multiple cellular extensions that you can kind of see branching off here. And all these cellular extensions are called dendrites. There is kind of one long extension coming off in the other direction, and that's called the axon. And then at the end of the axon, you have these branches kind of coming off here, and these branches are called the axon terminals. And it's kind of hard to see, but at the end of these axon terminals, there would be these little like little round kind of ends to it called the synaptic end bulbs. And the synaptic end bulbs are where neurotransmitters are released. And so neurotransmitters are how a neuron communicates with another cell. Now you'll also notice that there are lots of other little kind of spots around here. And these little spots that you're seeing here are the nuclei of other cells called neuroglia cells. So neuroglia cells. And the neuroglia cells are like helper cells. And so they help the neuron do its job of communication. So I mentioned on the previous slide that the main function of nervous tissue is communication, and that can be communication between structures inside the body, or it can be communication kind of with the external environment. So for example, in order to make your muscles contract, your brain can send a signal out through nerves to your skeletal muscles in order to kind of trigger them to contract. Your sensory receptors pick up information either from inside your body or from the external environment, and it sends information to the brain so you can process that and understand whether you're feeling hot or cold, or whether you're hearing something or seeing something. So this communication is either between structures in the body, or it can refer to communication with the outside environment.